I had a notion. So I have repeatedly said, repeatedly, me, not second coming of Christ. Why? Mainly Netanyahu. Here's the thing. I say this because I firmly believe the second coming has arrived. Like, I just do. So I say that I don't believe I am the second coming of Christ to clarify that while I believe the second coming has come, it's not because I believe it's me. However, I am hoping that's not just wishful thinking because of my absolute disgust with Christia Dama and the number of people who claim to be faithful, but only on their terms. That ain't cool to me. Maybe it's because I'm a monk. Maybe it's because I'm a Buddhist monk. I don't think people should treat faith lightly. And so, I've happened upon a notion. Just because I'm not him doesn't mean I can't use the title. Like, not for myself, like, not as myself, obviously. But to call on the second coming of Christ, wherever they are, to do what the second coming of Christ does. As far as I'm aware, now maybe I'm biased in this because, I've read the Quran, and the Quran is pretty specific that while Islam does not believe that Christ happened to be a literal, actual Mahotejas demigod, like half actual literal Allah, they still consider him a prophet and one of the most important ones. Like really, like really. Like there's this whole thing in the Quran about people of the book, meaning Jews and Christians. You're not supposed to hurt them. You're not supposed to persecute them. You're not supposed to try to be like, you must come to Allah, because according to the Quran, people of the book, and I think actually also there are these things called the laws of Noah, which also back this up. Like, you shouldn't persecute them. You shouldn't. Which means it's actually super, super morally incorrect for Christian people to persecute Muslims. Especially because a lot of them do that based on literal, actual, a few individuals. Now let's consider how much forgiveness some of the Christians throw around for bad cops, saying that you can't judge all cops based on a few bad apples, when they insist on shoving those bad apples back into every single barrel to rot all of them. And insist that it's not a problem with the cops, when they want to take the one or two bad apples that have already been removed from the Islam barrel and say that the Islam barrel's already tainted beyond repair. Well, if the Islam barrel was already tainted beyond repair, newsflash, it's one of the largest religions in the world. If they were all bloodthirsty killers, we'd all already be dead, you idiots. Now, obviously, this is a point some of you actually already understand. But I'm pissed. Thus, as follows. Arang, arang, arang. Dicha, Agamana Cristo. Ara, Sapdana Yoga. Christi Yatama. Naragrazing body, Sagradzing body. Naragrazing body. Harivatarazing body. Naragrazing body. Naragrazing body. Naragrazing body. Riot Kid Karate body. Naragrazing body. Razariarizing body. Naragrazing body. Victor's body. There's your road rocks out in this canody. While I am not in any way of the belief I am the second coming of Christ, I'm more than willing to be the second coming of Christ, Hatchet Man, in the mantra way. So, for those who are wondering, what exactly I just said. The second coming of Christ. Christendom. Associate with. Be reborn into. Thus, the second coming arrived. Somewhere out there. Forever ago. Whether they're like older than me by like a significant margin, whether they're like 60 something, whether they're like 33, it'd be very fitting for them to be 33 right now. Because the whole like, when you got crucified thing. If they're like 6, it don't matter none. It's like here, like here, not like here, but like here. Then identify with, atone, because that's what he did. Resolve to order, judge, because that's what he does when he comes back. He judges all those idiots who like claim to be faithful to him and just screw off like idiots. I got no problem being a Hatchet Man for the second coming. I got no problems with that at all. So, if there's anyone that you can think of who's just one of those obnoxious, self-righteous idiots that won't shut up about how they're right and you're wrong because you disagree with them. That's exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about. Like, if anyone sees my show as like, he needs to feel the love of Jesus. Believe me, I feel the love of Jesus. I do. I do. I do. I just have the opinion that some of these idiots need to feel the wrath of Jesus. That's my opinion. But you know what? That's the point. Is this shouldn't be about my opinion. What that's about is making sure the actual second coming of Christ, wherever the second coming of Christ is, gets his opinion in. Or hers, as the case may be. Reincarnation. Could be a different gender. Literally, actually. I've said so before. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe.